minds talk about events, but great minds talk about ideas. Welcome to the Take On Everything podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Take On Everything. We took a little bit of a spring break last week, and we're back for March 22nd, episode 22. So we're ready to talk about some troubles about being part of the royal family.
Can you believe that?
I can't even imagine.
Finally, okay, first of all, finally, my time to shine, my expertise on being royal and what that means. For those of you that don't know, Meghan Markle came on Oprah and did a tell-all about how tough it is to be a princess. And my heart went out to her. Firstly, because yes, it is hard to be a princess. Like, you people think it's just eating steak tartare in our ivory towers. It's not, okay? It's photo ops. It's kissing babies. It's people telling you what to wear. It's cosplaying as our dead. That's so weird that she does that. Have you seen that?
Yeah, the Princess Diana.
Yeah,
right? Where it's like it's like outfit after outfit.
Imagine dressing up as your husband's dead mom. And I can't tell who's more into it. I can't tell if she's just like, oh my God, I love Princess Diana, or if he's like, babe, put on these stockings. They still smell like her. Because he seems weird like this.
Way creepier than you just made it way creepier than I initially thought it was. So congratulations.
We're not judging. I'm just saying, if you're gonna put your life out there, I'm gonna think about all the nitty-gritty details of it. But here's my issue with Meghan Markle. It's not that she was bitching and moaning about how hard it is to be royal. It's not that Oprah took advantage of people desperate in life. It's that nobody's talking about the very real lesson Meghan Markle just learned, that there are losers in every class, creed, and breed of man. And she thought that she was going to get to marry a prince and be a princess and be set for life and have people catering to her and just be fucking royal. And that's not what it is. Like, you're a public figure. And then she realized that as soon as Harry's family cut him off, he's useless. He's a fucking useless piece. He's a loser. And he said, like, I did not know how I was going to provide for my family. You went to college and have a degree. What do you mean you don't know how you're going to provide? And then, like, you realize that this is a man who doesn't know how to do anything. And now she's saddled with him because not only is she married, she also has his fucking baby. So Duchess of Cambridge better get her ass back on Suits and start working for this. Like, what the fuck? But also, think about this. Wouldn't it be awesome to have like a Kim Kardashian style reality show, but with the royals, and it's filmed like The Office, so no laugh track. It's just like zoom ins on Harry's face every time he encounters a chili dog that he's not used to. Oh my God. But like, also, I defend the royal family on this. And it's not just because I'm a princess. It's because she married into this family knowing damn well who they were and didn't give two shits about the customs. Like, she married into that family and tried to make it the Meghan Markle show. And it's not that. Like, you are some B-list celebrity from daytime TV, and that's the Queen of England. So you're not going to like shit on her traditions. You're not going to do that. I don't think it has anything to do with her race. I think it has the fact that Meghan went into that family mad disrespectful, and she has no fucking right to like upturn anything. And the audacity to think you're going to take their son away from his country, away from his palace, and move him to America, and then expect them to still fund your life. If you're going to marry someone for money, do that shit. Own it. I love you for it, okay? But ask yourself some important questions. One, where is this money coming from, okay? Is he a drug dealer? Is it his grandma funding his lifestyle because he's worthless? You found out that a man is worthless, Meghan, and that's your real plight. That's why you're depressed. Either get a vibrator or a divorce. I don't know what to tell you. But it's not fucking news, and shame on Oprah for capitalizing on that. That's all I have to say about the royal family.
Well, I mean, everybody's like watching it / talking about it. So, I mean, it was fairly successful. Go Oprah. Like, she saw an opportunity No,
It was successful.
There's a
Remember their
reason
GoFundMe?
she is rich. She is a reason. Wait, what'd you say?
She's a predator. That's why she's rich. She's an absolute predator who preys on the lifestyles of the disenfranchised and the people desperate for attention. That's why she's rich. But it wasn't a success because Meghan Markle had a GoFundMe start, or like someone started a GoFundMe for her. For their goal was $7 million, and they busted out at 110 because one person gave $100 and two people gave $5. Okay, your plight doesn't exist. And like, that's not to say that she's not mentally stressed about it, because I would be losing my fucking mind if I walked into life and found out I married an idiot thinking I was going to be set for life. And then you get there and reality hits you in the fucking face. And she took it on a chin like a woman, okay? Because she still looks fantastic, but she took that shit on the chin, finding out that like all he knows how to do is whore out his family name. So he better take his fucking degree and start applying places, or move back, move the fuck back, move back.
So I've always been really, really confused how they ended up in the United States. Like, how did that happen? Like, did she convince him to come over here? I really don't know anything. I generally don't care, but I've always been a little bit curious. It's like, how did she swing that to where, hey, I'm going to go to another country. I'm going to grab a prince like every freaking Disney movie. And then I'm going to take him away. This is not a Disney movie. I'm going to take him away from all that shit. I want to bring him back to my place, and we're going to live out here, and all the money's going to keep flowing. We're going to be good to go. Like, how did that happen?
First of all, the number one ingredient in that plan is delusionment. Because like you had an idea of what your life would be like when you moved over, and you were going to be like crowd, individual, just waving at fucking peasants. And that's not what it is. And then once she got there, she found out like, this isn't what I wanted. But Harry is... So like he was like, whatever, babe, whatever you want. I'll move to this new fucking country and be broke as shit and embarrass myself on national television. And now not only does everyone know your husband's a loser, not only does everyone know that your baby does not have good stock, not only does like Britain fucking hate you for painting their like icon as racist, which again, I don't think it was racism. I think you were being a piece of shit. And there's a difference. And I'm sick and tired of every person who like feels slighted, not acknowledging their roles in this, because like, do people hate you because you're black, or do they hate you because you're a bitch? You know, because sometimes those go together, but a lot of times they don't. Okay, like maybe you're just a bitch. And Meghan Markle was acting like a bitch. Like every single time, every article about her was her shitting on traditions, and that's all the royal family is. That's what it means to be a princess. Traditions. You're supposed to be the icon. If you want to be above everybody, because that's what royalty is. You're above everybody. You better fucking act like it. That means there are rules that you have to follow. There are things that you can no longer do. You are no longer the girl from Suits. You are the Duchess. Act like it. And if you don't want to play ball, get the fuck out and go back to your normal life when no one knows who you are. And the embarrassment, haha, the Duchess of Cambridge, what a joke. Then again, she's so far removed from the throne, she'll never be the queen. She's not queen material anyway, but she'll never be the queen. So like, who gives a shit what she's up to? But don't expect anyone to fund your life if you're not going to give a shit about what they want, you know? Because like, what's the return investment in that? They don't care about their son's happiness. That's why they had his mom killed. Okay. So these are things to take into consideration when you marry a stranger, because they dated for like 3.5 days. Like this is the classier Kardashian wedding. And that's all I have to say about the royal family.
Yeah, that's the royal family. So, okay, here's a really, really forced segue, right? Immigrants, right? We got an immigrant from Britain. I know, I'm pushing this so hard. So we've got the immigrant from Britain, right? Segue. Okay. I don't have a good segue. Immigrants in the U.S., right? Okay, so
specifically
there's a crisis. Minor immigrants in the U.S. So, guys, I don't know if you've heard, but like we talked last episode about how Joe Biden solved like racism and poverty and all this stuff. And I think, because I haven't seen anything on TV about it, I think that he solved the immigration problem too. Is that right? Did I get that right?
No,
Is
I
that
think
fixed
I
now?
solved it when I made those campaigns. Like I think I fixed it when we made him acknowledge that he's shit and not actually going to do anything. So I don't know why anyone's shocked that they're still in what they call them. They're
Ooh,
migrant facilities.
migrant overflow facilities, not kids
Aren't
in
they
cages.
at like 700% capacity? Like where'd they
They
get more
are.
kids? Where the fuck you find more kids?
It's kind of like the Cuomo thing. He like underreported like how many grandmas he killed, and so I guess they've been underreporting how many kids they've been keeping in
Now I
cages.
understand why Como thought Biden would be lenient, because it's like,
He's
dude,
like,
you know,
he
you
gets
know
it.
how it be.
He gets it. Like we don't have to
He'd be
tell
like,
him
that's
the
the best.
real numbers. We don't have to tell them
What
the real
numbers are
numbers.
human constructs? If you think about it, like
They're
if
really
you
subjective, you know?
so subjective, because like what even counts as a human being anymore? Like, what are we basing that on? It's so
Yeah,
confusing
I mean that's a
nowadays.
really good point, which is why we don't have to worry about the kids in cages down on the border. Also, the other reason why we don't have to worry about it is because so apparently Biden put a gag order on the border patrol agents and the migrant facilities, so no news reporters are allowed in, and they're not allowed to talk about it under penalty of law. So we can't really know what's going on there, except we know that the numbers are several 100% over capacity.
Is that
So
legal?
that's it is when the government does it. They say what's legal and what's not legal. So
Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Okay, hold on, babe. Let's talk about it. Hold on.
we're gonna talk. Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. The people in charge of minors unaccompanied in cages can't talk about. So who's holding them accountable?
I think the answer is nobody. So, and that's the point. That's the point. And that's the crazy thing. Okay. It's
Did they
because
think I wouldn't notice? Like I wouldn't think like, wow, they're already doing nefarious shit with me watching. I wonder what they'll do behind my back.
and here's the greatest piece of this. Okay. This is the piece that so under Trump, there was a ton of scrutiny, which was good, right? It was good.
Yeah.
There is an actual crisis down there, right? So then, for the last like 18 months, 2 years, Democrats are like, hey, we really need to solve this crisis on the border, kids in cages, all this stuff. So you had a lot of Democrats who are really excited, like, hey, we need to get Biden in here so he can solve the crisis on the border. Biden said in his first 100 days, he will fix the kids in cages thing, right? And his fix was to call it, yeah, he called it overflow facilities or some bullshit like that. So here's a quote. Here's a quote. This is great. Our entire administration will always be honest and transparent with the good news and the bad. We'll level with you when we make a mistake. We'll straight up say what happened. Okay, that is a direct quote from the inaugural address, if you remember that episode we did. And that's Joe Biden for you. And here we are, not even, 2 months later, or exactly 2 months later, and we're putting gag orders on federal agents because we don't want people to know about the horrible living conditions in these migrant facilities. So
James,
that should paint a picture for you.
Okay, very on brand for America. I don't know why Megan came back here. It's fucking shit. How bad was it, babe? You came back here? We have kids in cages. That's Holocausty. But very on brand for America. And I'm really excited to see the trajectory of this country because I'm ready to do some hoodlum shit. And I don't want anyone to judge me for it. Because, like, what do we, at this point, what do they want me to do? What do they want me to do right now? Like, my only other option is to storm it. Because, like, you won't let me in. You won't let me know what's going on. You won't close it down. And I've said I don't want to fund it. So, you're asking me to storm it. Like, you're asking me to be violent is what I'm getting. Okay? Because, like, I can speak your language. I can speak your language. I don't want to. But if you're going to be oppressed, speak your oppressor's language fluently so that you know you're being understood. And maybe I'm just not making my demands clear when I said I don't want to fund your Holocaust regime. And we're not putting kids in cages because they crossed the border in not your favorite way. And if you made it a little fucking easier, no one would do it that way anyway. But also, I know you're doing this to perpetuate the war on drugs and fund your little bullshit operations. So what choice do I have other than to storm it?
Yeah, I mean, there was that stupid storming of Area 51 like not too long ago that was stupid. But we need to up that, and we need to go storm these freaking facilities. And here's the funny thing, right? This is how politics works, right? So the Republicans were like, yeah, they didn't really care too much about the kids in cages on the border, and Democrats cared a ton. Now that Biden's in office, obviously they don't care. We're at 700% capacity. And Governor Abbott in Texas, the Republican, who didn't give a shit before, he has now declared a humanitarian crisis on the border because there is unsafe drinking water and the migrant children only get to shower once a week, right? So now all of a sudden the Republicans care about the migrant children on the border. I mean, which is good. And I'm glad that somebody said something. That's really the only reason we actually know what's going on down there. But still, we're not allowed to have reporters down there, and it's just politics.
What, like, girl, orange man bad, okay?
Kids in cages good if my guy does it.
They're not in cages. They're in facilities. Oh my God, where do you want us to put it? Where, unless we have no choice but to put them in a facility, okay? You didn't want them in cages. I moved them to a facility, and now you're still not happy. Like, what do you want? What do you want? This is why leadership is so fucking hard. You try to do your best for these ungrateful assholes. You move all these kids over to a facility, a nice facility, okay? Have you seen the walls? They're surgical steel. I don't know if that's true. It's probably not.
we don't know. We should know, right?
I should know. But only a Republican and a Democrat would sit and argue about the quality of the steel used to hold people in, than to acknowledge that you are caging human beings. But then again, what even qualifies as a human anymore? Because my dog is my baby, and I think she has rights. I don't know. I'm kind of over America right now.
I mean, it's frustrating to watch. And okay, here's the other piece. Biden, okay, last week, ABC interviewed him about, because this whole, crisis on the border thing. He said, I can say quite clearly, this is a message for the immigrants south of the border. Don't come. Do not come to America. Right? Just put yourself 2 years ago, pretend Trump said that, because he did. Okay? What was the outrage? And nobody's saying anything about this. Right?
He said that?
He absolutely said that. ABC News last week, he was interviewed. He said, I can say quite clearly, don't come. He said, I'm speaking to the immigrants now. Do not come to America. That's exactly what he said.
What the bitch interviewing say?
Nothing. They let it go. And he said, he's like, well, we don't want to add to the crisis on the border, so don't come here. That was his excuse.
Stop perpetuating the crisis on the border. You are the crisis. Oh my God. That's like your gonorrhea. Hey, stop having sex. Stop having sex. You already have gonorrhea, and I don't want to add to it. So why don't you just stop having sex? It's the gonorrhea. That's the issue. Why don't you just clear up this STD plaguing America that is Joe Biden and everyone pulling his fucking strings, because his fall up them damn stairs was over. Who falls like that? Don't hurt yourself on the way down, Joseph. Who the fuck falls like that? You're dusting your knee when he tripped, he caught his shoe on the step and then dusts off his knee. What the fuck are you doing? Someone told him to really go for it, and they're going to declare him incompetent, and Kamala Harris will be president, and then the cages will get shut down, because then it's look at Kamala doing everything that Biden couldn't. All we needed was a strong Black woman in office.
Stupid. You already have the narrative right there. I mean, you should kind of be the whole writer of the whole script that is politics.
Dude, it is a script. I hate the writers. We started off. Don't you hate when you love your show? You love a show and it's the best show in the world, and then your favorite writer just moves on, so they replace them with a new guy who's trying to take it in a new hip direction, but he doesn't really quite get his audience. That's what we have now. No one, whoever's writing the narrative of America, doesn't understand what the fuck we do here, because this ain't it, Chief. This ain't it. It's not what I learned about in my government-sanctioned textbooks, okay? It's not what we read about. And if you're going to do this, add that shit in. And I want to know, I can't wait till I have kids and they're taking history, U.S. history, and then I get to read, bitch, that didn't happen. I lived that. I lived through that, and that's not true.
That's false. No. Just cross the entire thing out. It's no. This is what happened.
No, calling the fucking teacher, like, excuse me, I don't want my son learning about 2020. Okay, like y'all lying your ass off.
Sanctioned textbooks will not have the real shit. It'll be like
no sanctioned textbook has anything real. But okay, good for the governor.
That trip and fall thing. And this is, I almost feel bad for Biden. Like I'm this close to feeling bad for him because have you noticed ever since like his inauguration, they have that 80-year-old man running everywhere. Whoever's like, Biden, you got to keep running. You got to keep running. You can't look weak. You can't look weak. So he's running everywhere. He's almost fallen a whole bunch of times. The man is 80 years old. Why are you making him jog everywhere? So yeah, he's gonna fall up goddamn 50 steps into an airplane. Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
If I said it once, James, I've said it 1,000 times. It's cruel and unusual that we continue to let Joe Biden be the president. Like that man should be slobbing on cough drops in a nursing home, not running the free world. Okay. It's cruel and unusual. It's cruel and unusual. But also, I don't think no, because he doesn't have high enough self-esteem for any of this to be real. Someone's telling him to trip on the stairs, to be incompetent, to be a fucking idiot. So then when we all enact Amendment 25, we're just like, oh, yeah, naturally, that makes sense. I mean, he's clearly not good. Look at all that he's done. And that's the narrative they're peddling, okay? But smarter than the average bear, I fucking see you. I see, like, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. That's what upsets me. Because before, it was like some deep, dark conspiracy shit. Like, did you see that guy with the umbrella? Like, he wasn't supposed to be there. Like, you got to think about the umbrella. And now it's just like right in front of your face, a staged fall. Like, nobody falls like that. Okay, I've fallen enough to know gravity doesn't affect the human body in those ways.
Yeah, maybe either that or he's just freaking 80 years old trying to run up some freaking aluminum steps. I don't know.
Either way, it's cruel and unusual.
Goddamn Joe Biden. All right.
I didn't vote for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know a lot of people that did, and they're starting to like not like him as much now that the whole Trump derangement thing has kind of gone away. They're like, yeah, this guy wasn't the best pick in the world. I don't think he's doing that great of a job. I'm like, well, I mean, I tried to tell you like before the election, he's not the guy. Absolutely not the guy. Literally anybody but him would be more interesting than what we have now.
You know, just to like continue with this like STD analogy I'm on, that's like ignoring your fucking cold sore and still like kissing everybody. Like everyone told you that was fucking herpes and you're like, no, anything but that. And then now we all have herpes because you're fucking irresponsible. So too little too late. I already hate them. They're expendable to me now.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more.
Agreed. What's next, James?
Agreed. So we've got, okay. So you know how Republicans, right, have been crying about free speech like so hard for like the last, I don't know, the censorship, text censorship, First Amendment, free speech, and all this stuff.
Weeping,
yes,
like little babies,
little toddlers. Like, I want my free speech. You can't take that away from me. Like all this, right? And like for the most part, like I agree. Like free speech is great, right? Except here's what they did, right? Kentucky GOP. They introduced the bill and passed the bill in their Senate, making it illegal to insult police officers. Okay, illegal. So it criminalizes any accosting, insults, taunts, or challenges to a law enforcement officer with offensive or derisive words. 90 days in jail and fines. So you can't offend police officers' feelings because Republicans don't think you should be allowed to say those things. But First Amendment, though, free speech.
Okay, hold on. Because I'm a piece of shit. Hold on. Because don't tell me I can't do something because now I want to. Like now I want to call just to fucking accost them. But
it's like, hey, Kentucky, do you have any?
You know what I should do? I should just look up the Kentucky Most Wanted and just have you caught this guy yet? Have you done this yet? What are you even doing? You're O for O. What about all those drugs going on? I see you still have an opioid epidemic, but like at least nobody's hurting your feelings. That's absolutely stupid. Like, first of all, I know how it makes the police look weak. It really just does, because now like the teacher's saying leave this person alone, and now it's a target. It's an absolute target, because before I was going to bully everybody, and now I'm going to bully this person in particular just to fuck up their day. But also, how mean have Kentuckians been to their police officers that they needed a law to stop it? Like, how mean are these people?
Republicans, please stop calling us mean words. Please, please.
How many times have like cops complained just like to HR, like, I arrested this guy today and he called me a pig, and I just don't know how I can go home and beat my wife knowing someone thinks that about me. Piece of shit. Oh my God.
It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like, one, coming from the Republicans who pretend to be all free speechy, and then two, like you said, when you say no, when you say don't do it, that's all I want to do. I didn't want to insult the police up until now. Now I'm like, oh, you can't handle it. You can't take some shit. You dish it out. Okay, you can't take it.
Don't fucking arrest me if you don't want to hear my fucking mouth. Like, don't engage me, because like, remember, the police always walk up to you and then pretend that you're the problem. Like, I was living my best life till you showed up, and now you're going to be punished for it. Okay. Stop engaging me. You don't want to be insulted. But
well, if they're having a slow day, right, then like it's really difficult to catch like, murderers and thieves and all that stuff. It's really, really difficult. But if you can push somebody's buttons and get them to call you a bad word, then look at that. You got yourself a crime. You did your job. You get a slap on the back, get some overtime and all this. Great job. Great job, officer. If you create crimes, you will continue to have a job.
Wait, James, listen, James, hear me out. Do you think there will be like levels to this, like a felony insult to the police, or like a misdemeanor because you called them a poopy head, and like that's just fine? But if you like fuck their wife, that's 30 days in jail. Like, is there like are there tiers to this? Are there like levels I can reach on like how mean
I
get
certainly
to
hope
these?
so. Can you imagine? Okay,
imagine the jury. Oh my God.
Yes, the court case. I was going with this. Like, imagine the court case, right? You have lawyers on both sides. They're like, setting up. It's like, sir, take the stand, please. Did you, in fact, call this motherfucker a shithead?
Yes, no, I called him a failed abortion who ain't worth two fucking shits worth of damn, and his mom's a whore. That's what I said. The fact that he would, that's just poor reporting. See, he can't even write his reports right. I would double down. Like, all it is a fine. I'm going to get my money's worth then.
Well, 90 days in jail too. But yeah.
I'm going to, if you can't do the crime, don't do the time. Well, Kentucky, I can do the time. It's the middle of a pandemic. You think I got shit else to do? What am I going to do? Go to a family outing? I don't think so. No. Like, I have nothing better to do than to insult the police. So that's cute. That's cute that they did that. And the fact that who's going to enforce that? Who's going to enforce that? Like, imagine is it just like the police word? Like he was really mean to me, and that's why I arrested him, because I didn't like his verbiage. What if the cop doesn't like your tone? Is that still a crime? Like, you had an insulting tone.
Thing. It's like you just get angry because somebody's like, being mean to you. It's like, I'm gonna arrest you, throw you in a cage, like throw you in the back of my
dad. Shut the fuck up. They're asking me to be violent. They're asking, okay? Because like, I speak their language and I want to be understood, and now I can't talk to you. So the only thing left to do is to do, I don't know. It's not how I would go about this, but then again, that's why no one's elected me to anything.
Yeah. So that was just like, I was like, I couldn't believe Kentucky. Like, fuck you.
Fuck.
What the hell's wrong with you? Like, seriously. That's just, laughing stock of the country at this point. Like, and you should be. So fuck you.
What are you going to do?
So the last thing I want to talk about real quick is a quick illustration of how shitty the reporting on COVID is, right? Okay. I don't know if anybody remembers, but back in the end of last year, California was like shut down really hard. Elon Musk had his like Tesla manufacturing factory, right? And it had been shut down by the county. It's like, complete lockdown. Elon Musk goes in. He's like, we're going to open back up. They said, well, we'll shut you down if you open back up. He says, well, you can come shut me down, but everyone's coming to work and I will be on the front line. So if you want to arrest somebody, I'm going to be on the manufacturing assembly line. So they backed off, right? So 2 weeks ago, the LA Times published an article talking about the COVID infection rates at the Tesla plant. And the headline was over 400 infection cases found at the Tesla plant after defying lockdown orders, right? This sounds really bad, doesn't it? It's like, oh, Elon Musk obviously fucked up. He obviously didn't listen to
how
the
many
rules.
people, like, over how long of a time period, and like how many people was everyone in contact with? Like that number means nothing until I have context.
See, now you're trying to think critically, but that's not what the article was supposed to be. The article was just like, oh, here's this huge number, over 400 people because he defied lockdown orders. Okay, so let's do some really, really basic math. Okay,
Oof,
so how many employees?
Here.
How many employees are at the plant? Right. Well, I looked it up, and this was not in the article, by the way. I did my homework because I'm like, that sounds like bullshit.
That's why I love you, James.
10,000 employees at that one plant, the Fremont plant. Okay,
wait, that's only like 4%.
That's 4%. Okay, so we know that the infection rate at the plant that they were trying to accuse, right, is at 4%. What is the national infection rate? There have been over 30 million people infected out of 300 million. That's what 10%. That's 10%.
10%. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that.
So you see how dishonest that reporting is? It's like, oh, they have 400 cases, which is 4%, which is less than half of the infection rate of California and the rest of the country, because California's got a higher infection rate, even though they have like the harshest lockdowns. So fuck that reporting. Like, how much bullshit is that? And then just imagine all the other headlines and all the other articles that do the same shit.
You know, people don't read articles though, so they could have they read the headline and then the rest of the article could have just been in Latin and no one would have fucking known, and they would have been like, oh my god, 400, can you believe that? 400, I can't even fathom that. Like 400 people, like I don't even know that many people. Wow, stupid, absolutely dumb.
But you see like the difference
Elon,
between though. Yeah, no, your reaction was, hey, critical thinking. What are the numbers here? What are we talking about? Let's put this in proportion. Everyone else, right? This is a major publication. Everyone else was like, oh God, it's 400 people. He's such an idiot. Like, he got people killed. He's trying to kill grandma and all, like all that stuff. It's just a little bit of critical thinking.
Well, everyone went to American public school. So critical thinking actually, like, thinking is a task. You expect them to be critical when they do it? Absolutely not. Very on brand for America. We're doomed. I've given up and I'm focusing on not my kids, but my kids' kids. And those will be the kids that really just like change the world. Because all these adults are fucking stupid. These blue-haired idiots. That, you know what it is? It's the hair dye. It's all the hair dye and the veganism. Is that what it is? It gets in there. You know, they don't. It's the hair dye. It's the hair dye. It's the blue hair dye and the veganism. They're not getting enough protein, and they're putting chemicals directly on their brain, and that's why the world's shit now.
They can't math. They cannot math.
They cannot. Then again, they went to American public school, so none of us can math.
Well, we just did some basic third grade math live on the internet.
I did that shit on my head. I did that shit in my head. Holy hell. I'm gonna call my mom. Like, no, I'm gonna call my third grade math teacher who told me I was a piece of shit. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, James, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't even know what the fix would be. Like, is it we need better? I just work here. Like, I don't.
Better people, better human beings.
Better people. What's gonna save this nation if not better people, though? Anyway, guys,
we are. That's what we're here for. That's why we have the show. We're calling out this shit.
The nation. I'm not here to save it. I'm here to taunt the fuck out of them, bully them into submission.
Which is exactly what they need.
Talking to them nicely isn't working. They're asking me to be violent. Okay. Now, the pen is mightier than the sword, so don't think for a second I can't. Hey, Michael, how are you?
What's up, Michael?
What's going on, bud? Yeah, I'll beat the fuck out of them. Verbally, of course. Can't violate the map.
That is a solution. They started it.
They started it. I'll throw it. What was that line from Hamilton? I'm chucking verbal rocks at these mediocrities.
There you go.
Bars. What the fuck was that?
I don't know what that is.
What is that? Is that what a great way to end. Anyway, guys,
all right,
I'm
guys,
Princess
thanks for
Rivulette.
tuning in.
This has been fun. I don't know what that sound is. Hopefully James can figure it out. Hopefully it's not nefarious, James. This is a chill